welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video tutorial is number 3 in Case of the Catalogue, and I've chosen a card from page 157. Now the reason I've chosen this card is for a couple of reasons. The first one being that it uses 3 stamp sets that have been in previous catalogues, so the chances are you guys might already have these 3 stamp sets in your stash now, so you'll be able to play along. The second reason is it has some stitching in it. Now, for everyone who knows me quite well, they're probably all laughing their heads off. I don't sew, I can't sew for my life. But I bought the Stitched All Around bundle that's in the annual catalogue, and it has 2 stitched shapes. One does the plain regular stitching and the other one does like a crisscross pattern. So I'll be using that one today and showing you how to do that and make it look like you've just used your sewing machine to stitch that all up. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the catalogue first. So like I said, page 157, we're making this card just here. Now if you can see in the catalogue, I'm not sure how they've done this pear pizzazz. I've decided to go with faux suede technique. So I'll bring my card in to show you, and that's how that's turned out. I think this card turned out really quite well, and you can see that stitching. I think it looks like I've gotten the sewing machine out and stitched. It's as good as I'm going to get anyway. Let's get started with this one. So I just want to show you the stamp sets that I've used in this card. We have Timeless Textures, Thoughtful Banners, Painted Harvest, and I'm also using the punch that goes with this set. And the last one, we're using the die from the Stitched All Around for the stitching effect. If you have a sewing machine in your craft room or you have one in your house, you could use that, or if you have this one, this works really well as well. The ink colours that we've used are Crushed Curry, Crumb Cake, Sahara Sand, Soft Sky, Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive. So I'm going to bring the supplies in. We have a crumb cake card base, a piece of pear pizzazz, a piece of soft suede, a piece of shimmery white cardstock, a small piece of crumb cake, a small piece of crushed curry. Then I have a piece of Design Series paper. Now I don't have the piece of Design Series paper that is in the catalogue, but this one is really close. It's a retired one, but that works in well as well. And a piece of Whisper White, and I've already stamped one of these and cut it out just for ease, but we'll stamp it again just to show you. Now we're going to do the soft suede background first, and I've already done one, so you can see that texture here. Isn't that gorgeous? It looks like suede, and that's cardstock. Just to let you know, all the measurements and supplies that I've used for this card you can find on my blog, so it's in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store where you can purchase all your Stampin' Up supplies, and there's also a Hostess code for each month. If you make an order, please pop in the Hostess code and I'll send you out a free gift. With the Pear Pizzazz, we're going to take our bone folder and we're just going to run it just to sort of break up those fibres. There's card fibres in there. You want to do the whole card. And you want to do both sides. And I think you need really good quality cardboard for this. And Stampin' Up is really good with their quality. The other good thing is with the Stampin' Up quality is the colour is dyed all the way through. It's not just on the top layer. Some cardboard that you can buy that's cheaper will only be dyed on the top and the bottom. So when you do this, the inside of the card is white. So I highly recommend getting good quality cardstock from Stampin' Up. Okay. You see on the edge there, see how it's starting to pull away? See if it's ready. Not quite. Let's just keep going. You want to do it gently. You don't want to tear it. See all that texture there? It's not quite ready there. So there we go. There you have it. You have 2 pieces just from that one piece of cardstock, so you can make 2 cards just there. I already have done one from here. This was the leftover one, so I'm going to use that. I'm also going to bring in the shimmery white cardstock, and we're going to do all our stamping now. So we're going to start off with this stamp here, and I'm going to use Sahara Sand. And even though that's the lightest colour, I'm also going to stamp that off because I want it lighter than the Sahara Sand, and I'm going to put 2 there and then just another one up here. Even though it's sort of covered, I just wanted a little bit there towards the end. There we go. Then we're going to bring in this one here, and I'm going to stamp that straight down in that one colour. So we're finished with Sahara Sand. We're going to bring in the crumb cake now. And I'm just going to do some couple of dots with the crumb cake. Instead of using the crumb cake, you just use the Sahara Sand. That would work as well. I just wanted a few different colours in there. Then we're bringing in soft suede, and I'm also going to do some dots on that as well. And while we have that one out, I'm going to do a figurine as well. So one up here, one down there. Now bringing the old olive in, and I'm going to clean off this stamp here. I want to do some darker colours down the bottom here, like that. And the pear pizzazz we're also going to bring in and do some dots as well. So cleaning that one off again. So we want some dots up the top here. I think that's good. So we're also going to bring in the Sahara Sand ink, and I'm bringing in a sponge dauber. No, sorry, a piece of sponge. And I just want to bring in some colours to make that antique-y sort of look. Also pop some of those colours up, I think. There we go. And that's our background done. So now I'm going to stamp the flower here, and we have crushed curry ink. We have the 2 stamps here. So the one with less detail, we're going to ink that up in crushed curry and stamp off, and then stamp straight down. That's fairly nice and light. Then the one with more detail, we're going to line that middle up, Doesn't that look good? The soft suede ink back in and stamp the centre. And I like to sort of re-stamp over just to give it that bit of effect. There we go. Now, you have to fussy cut that one out. I've already done one previously just to try and save a little bit of time. So bringing another piece of Whisper White in. So we're going to use Pear Pizzazz for the background leaf. And bringing Old Olive in with the more detailed stamp of the leaf. We're going to line that one up as best as I can. There we go. And I can bring the leaf punch in and punch that one out. So there's our leaf. So we have that to layer on top. That one's going to layer on top. I have those ready to go. Now the last little bit of stamping we have is this crumb cake, and I'm going to bring the crumb cake in and stamp the sentiment "Celebrate." And while we've got that stamp out, we're going to go and stamp "Celebrate." And we're stamping that in soft suede, the "Celebrate." So bringing this piece in, I forgot to do that. Just going to stamp "Celebrate" around the card. So full strength. There we go, so just like that. So that is all our stamping that we have. Using this piece of crushed curry, I'm going to bring in an old pair of scissors because I'm going to distress the edges. So I'm just going to run the blade over the cardstock and it just pulls it back, gives it a lovely texture. This is an old technique, but it looks really good, especially on these sorts of cards. I'm going to do both sides. You get little fibres everywhere, and I just recommend using not your good paper snips. So that's it once it's all done. Can you see that? So what we might do is we might start popping this all together. So I'm going to fold and burnish the card base. I feel like I'm all over the shot today, sorry about that. And then I'm going to glue this faux suede down with some Tombow glue. So look at this, if you've done this with smoky slate, this would look good as rhino skin or elephant skin. Can you see that texture? So it gives it like a real leathery look on the other side. So one side you've got suede and the other side you've got leather. And you make 2 cards out of 1 piece of cardstock, so it's very economical too. Okay, so that's down. Then I'm going to glue these 2 together. I'm going to take some linen thread and I'm just going to last of my roll. Hopefully that's enough. Going to wrap round a few times. Yeah, that'll be good. And tie a bow. Not the best bow tire on camera, so let's see how we go. Oh, that piece was just long enough, that's lucky. Okay, just going to snip that end off. Excellent. Okay, so my DSP I'm going to banner cut. So if you have the banner punch, you can use the banner punch to banner your two ends. If you don't, just cut right up into the middle, and then you're layering from each end into the middle where you've cut up to. So there we go. And I'm going to attach this to our crushed curry piece. I'm just going to run a little line of Tombow glue, popping that down on there. Now I'm also going to cut just underneath there so you can't see it, and then on this end I'm going to cut at that same angle. There we go. So I'm going to glue that one straight down onto the card. I'm going to attach my leaf to my sunflower, and I'm going to use a glue dot for that one. So sticking it on there like that. Then I'm going to cut a little bit closer to that stamp to celebrate area, and I'm going to glue this one down. Now, because that's off the edge there now, I'm just going to banner cut that slightly, and then we're going to go into the faux, or the stitching, faux stitching in my case. So I'm going to bring the big shot in. There we go. And this stitching here, so on the card, it's stitched down the middle there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this one down and pop it through the big shot. Okay, so that gave us that stitching there. And all I'm going to use is a white gel pen. So I have my white gel pen, and I'm just going to draw the white gel down there so it sort of looks like white stitching, white thread. So there we go. I think I can get away with that. So let's bring all our card pieces back in again. I can pop that one straight up with dimensional, so I'll bring them in and we'll put one in each corner, taking the backing off and sticking it straight down. I love in the new catalogue they've got so many new ideas for some of our older stamps that we've had for a year or two or more. I love new ideas. Okay, and I'm going to also pop this one up with some dimensionals as well. I'm just going to use some edges for the leaves. Okay. I'm popping that down on the card. Okay, so this is today's card. I hope you've enjoyed this case. If you have any cards in the catalogue that you would like to see, please let me know. Either leave me a comment here or send me an email. I've really enjoyed today, so I hope you have too. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave me a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Alright, I can't wait till next week to bring you a new card. Have a great day. Bye.